Hey everyone, welcome to Tabletop Takeover, Episode 3, Christmas Games, or Christmas Stuff. Whatever we want to call it this episode, Jared. It's been a bit since our last one. I know we're a little bit behind, but scheduling around the holidays is always a little bit difficult. But yeah, what have you been playing lately, Jared? I know you went to BGG Con, so tell us about that.
Oh, I've been to MeepleThon, BGG Con. I met friends in St. Louis for a gaming weekend, so I have played a bunch. If I could remember what all I've played, it'd be even better. But one thing a new game to me, this has been out for a little while, that continued to hit the table is a dice game called Chicken. Um,
Okay.
this is a silly game. It absolutely is. It's a fast push your luck dice game that's all about tempting fate and laughing at your own boldness as you take risk after risk trying to score points. So everybody essentially takes turn rolling these dice and aiming to score points without cracking under the pressure. See what I did
Okay.
there? The
I see.
chicken. Yep,
Ha
you got
ha
it.
ha. So
Aha,
funny.
got him. So but like many push your luck games, you have to decide when to quit. Every time you roll an egg, though, you have to add more dice to re-roll. So if you get three foxes, though, then you lose all of your points. I think what separates this from some other dice games where there's pressure luck, um, this one evolves to once you have so many dice in your hand, you pass that to your neighbor, which
Hmm.
is interesting because I got a lot of points, but now I'm passing all these dice to my neighbor, and they can potentially chicken out. Chickening out means I don't want to roll all your dice because it's easier for me to get foxes. However, you lose a point if you chicken out. This is fun.
Okay.
This is a game that you're usually rooting for everybody at the table, even though you're against. And the game's fast. I think all the games we played were less than 10 minutes. You just play to the first one that hits 25 and the game is over. It's super fun, super cheap, quite enjoyable.
So
But
I looked it up. Is it the Scott Alms game that Keymaster put out? Is that the one you're talking
it
about?
is. Yep.
Yeah, I mean that makes me interested. Like Scott Alms being a good designer, and then Keymaster doing a lot of games I like. Parks, Harvest, Caper, just to name some of them. So yeah, I mean that sounds good. Honestly, you should bring it to the party on Friday. We're having a board game Christmas party this Friday evening. Of course, it will be the Friday evening before you're all hearing about this. But yeah, excited to get some games to the table there for sure.
Heck yeah,
Uh,
this is good. And it'll play quick. I'll bring it.
Yeah, yeah, I really enjoy like small press your luck dice games. The most recent one that okay, that's not the right thing. Not maybe most recent, but the one that comes to mind for me is Spots. Um,
Yeah.
but I found that like I don't know, like if you're playing Spots with non-gamers, like people who aren't familiar with a lot of games in the hobby, I feel like it trips people up more than I expected it to. But that's a really good dice game as well. I just have a couple of like kind of new to me stuff, really. So I can just buzz through mine really quick if you have some more to talk about with all your con trips and everything. So for me, it's I played Everdell Duo and White Castle Duel. Both of those are great. Have you played either one of those?
I did play White Castle Duel. Got about halfway through it and I had to go somewhere, but I thought it was pretty clever. I think I might like it better than the original game.
Yeah, I can't decide about that one. I mean, I feel like at two players, I would rather play Duel, but I do feel like I like White Castle as an experience as a game more than White Castle Duel. I just like the ability to stack the dice and maybe lock people out with the high numbers and they don't have them, they got to pay coins. That's another layer that I enjoy, but the duel aspect's really nice. And Everdell Duel, or Duo rather, I don't know that I'm sold on this one. I didn't play the cooperative variant. We just played the competitive one probably three or four times, but the timing aspect of it, like placing a worker bumps one of the like timers, and then playing a card bumps one of the timers, or you can draw a card to bump either timer. So you can technically like lock the other person out before they're able to place their last worker, things like
Nick,
that. So it
real
gets tricky.
is that like real time? Is it a real time
No,
game?
sorry, I did make it sound like that. It's not real time. It's one turn after the other. So there's a sun and moon marker, and if I play a worker, I bump the sun marker once. Or maybe it's the moon. Okay, don't quote me. And then if I play a card, I bump the other one of them. Once both markers reach the end of the track, the round's over, or the season is over, if you will. And then you reset everything and do it again. But it's pretty much the same gameplay elements as Everdell, but they do use the newer edition Everdell stuff with the card pairing. You know what I'm talking about? Where instead of like the husband can play the wife for free or
Yeah,
whatever
no.
it is like that, you have like the little barrel tokens or whatever they're called, and you cover them up. Like you cover up a, a building or a structure to play a critter. I forget the terminology specifically, but it is good. I would recommend you play it for sure. I don't know that I'm going to be picking it up because enough people that I know own it, but I did pick up White Castle Duel, and I'm happy about that.
Nick, are you an
Um,
Everdell fan? Would you call yourself an Everdell fan
I
overall?
was about to ask you the same thing. I am an Everdell fan, yes. I do own the complete collection, and this is another conversation for maybe for another podcast, but I have played it less since buying the complete collection than I had whenever I only owned the base game. I just am intimidated by opening up that box and getting it out.
I do not like I do not love Everdell. I think if it's a good group of people and someone asked me to play, I'd probably play it. I will say though, I played the gratuitous large box with all the expansions and fancy
Yeah,
pieces. I did play that with all the expansions, and I did like it quite a bit.
yeah.
I
It's
don't
very long that way.
base game. Yeah, base game. It was very long. I think it was about 3.5 hour game with four people that don't take super long turns
Yeah,
normally. But um, base game, I own it. It's kind of there for family events,
sure.
um, but not one that I want to play very often. I think it's better than some of the what I call, and you know how what I say about cute games, Nick.
Yeah,
I think it's better. It has a better core system than a lot of the cute games out there. And for those that are listening and don't know what I'm referring to, anytime someone says, "Hey, is that game any good?" and you say it's cute, it's probably not a good game. So that's what I'm referring
it's
to
the
as
polite way of saying no, huh?
correct. Yeah. I do think it's better than a lot of those cute games that are out there.
Yeah,
But it's just not one that scratched the itch for me. I
yeah.
don't mind playing it, just not something that I'm going to suggest to play.
Yeah, it falls in a tricky spot for me. I feel like everybody I know wants to just play the complete collection, which I don't really want to dig out, and I don't remember the rules to all the expansions. So unless I'm playing with our friend Jacob, I'm not going to play it. And that's just a problem on my part. I need to just take a couple minutes to refresh it, and by a couple I mean probably 30, to refresh myself on it and just play it a couple more times, and it'll get in the I'll like lock all those rules in. I think pretty quickly, but I only have like two or three more. Let me just buzz through these real quick, and I'll let you have the floor for your list here. But Clans of Caledonia released an expansion, Industria. I played that one time. Excited to play it again because my wife didn't get to play it with us, so I do want to get that to the table again. It definitely adds more elements to an already fairly heavy game. It's like Terra Mystica with a stock market, is what I'm going to call it, and people can fight me if they want to, but that's just how I view this game. And now you
That's
have
fair.
like a train board. You can like move your train to different cities, and then I'm not like really make deliveries, but you can interact at different points on the city. And yeah, it's really solid, really well made, and I mean, it came with this cool box with cool inserts in it too, which honestly doubled the box size for me, but it did need to have more space for sure for the extra components. Have you played that one?
I've played the base game and I've played it 3 times.
Yeah.
Stock market games just blow my mind. They're hard for me to wrap my simple little head around. I need games like Chicken to revive me. But I did feel like it was a very good system. Not
Yeah.
one that I would prefer to pull out, but I'd probably try it again. It's been several years since I played that base game.
Yeah. I mean, when we sat down and went into it, I was like, okay, just buy low, sell high. Obviously, that's the trick. Duh, do that. And then I found myself like, well, I don't really want to sell now because I could use these resources and sell later if they go up in price. And by the time it gets back to me, the stock's gone down now and I can't sell for the money I want. And I'm just over here fuming at Jacob the whole time because he's getting everything he wants and I'm making stupid decisions. But I think it's good. I do want to get it played again. Another one that's a variation on a theme, if you will, is Six Sojourns, which is the new Red Raven game, which is kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
a 8 Minute Empire Essentials Edition or Deluxe Edition, if you will. 2.0. I don't know what you want to call it, but have you played the 8 Minute Empire games?
I played that. I enjoyed it. It's good.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed Six Sojourns, probably more. Like, I honestly don't see me going back to 8 Minute Empire now. There's a bunch of like mini modules that you can add in. So we added in all of the mini modules, and then there's two major expansions that we haven't played with yet. One of them like adds an economic side of the game, which I really want to check out. It was fun. It's super quick. I think me, Haley, and Jesse played it in maybe an hour 15 on the first play, and we had to like read the module rules. So I'm probably going to bring that Friday, see if I can get that tabled. I think that that's a fun one. Doesn't require much effort to table itself, and it's a pretty easy teach. It's just 7 rounds or 9 rounds. I don't remember. Buy a card, do what the card says. Next round, buy a card, do what the card says. If you run out of money, you take the card that's free, and you want to control areas or have the majority of pieces in areas, however you want to say that. So, lastly, is a game you might talk about too, is Sanctuary. Did you play that at BGG?
Actually, I missed out on that one at BGG.
Oh man, I was hoping to get your thoughts today on this. So, Arc Nova, I mean, I keep saying it's maybe my favorite game. Maybe it's Inish. I don't know which one. It's a toss up. But I love it. And I was so hyped for Sanctuary that maybe I kind of heard it because I just thought it was going to just be like the next best thing since like pants on pockets or pockets on pants,
And some pockets.
pants on pockets. And it just, I think it's a really good game. But I just think I will never pick that over Arc Nova, ever. So I really want you to play it and get your thoughts on it. But it is a game that if you're playing it and you have a spot, I'm in every time. I'm never going to say no to it, but Arc Nova's better. And I was arguing the same thing. We already talked about White Castle. I sold my copy of the White Castle because I prefer the first game that these designers made, the Red Cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the majority of people disagree. They like White Castle more, but I figured, you know what? I'll play White Castle whenever you want to. So I'll sell somebody my copy and I'll play their copy whenever.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Sanctuary. I'm glad I didn't pick it up. However, I do think it's really solid. And I think it's probably going to be a lot of people's game they prefer over over Arc Nova because it is shorter. It's a little bit less complex as well. But I think a lot of it's just the play time is half the length of Arc Nova. We played 4 players in, I don't know, not quite 2 hours. Maybe it was about 2 hours.
I was going to ask what the playtime is, so considerably shorter.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking 3.5 to 4 at 4 players, right? For Arc Nova, this was an hour and a half to 2 hours. I bet if
Nice.
the same 4 of us played again, it'd be 90 minutes.
That's very much like a tile placement, get points for what's attached, what's adjacent to those tiles. Is that fair to say? Or probably a little more involved than that, but essentially is that a big scoring mechanic?
It can be. You're starting out at the bottom of your board at your park's entrance or at your zoo's entrance, and you're placing out tiles. And some of the animals, so most of the animals are unique, but some of them have pairs. So, like, don't quote me on the animal type, but like, I have the penguins, right? So if I get both of the penguins, then I'm going to get an extra token if they're next to each other. And that token is used to back a conservation project for like 1 fewer check, right? So like if you need to have predators, I could back predators at 4 and then spend this token to back it at 5. So you do kind of want pairs of animals together sometimes. There's some things that score with adjacency, like you'll have a predator building maybe that scores 2 points for every predator around it. The petting zoo animals have to be adjacent to each other. And then there's a building that scores if you have petting zoo animals next to it. So yeah, there is some adjacency rules for sure. But I am interested in a second play because I want to know if you could just try to rush the end of the game. And if people are holding out for these extra adjacency scorings, if you can just cut it out from under them. I'm not sure. Because Arc Nova, to me, it's all about the tension of the race, and I care every single time you play cards. Are you snapping a card? Are you drawing from the row? Are you taking cards to your hand? Like, what's the break timer at? I really, really care about what you're doing in Arc Nova. and I found myself just not caring what you're doing in Sanctuary. It
Uh-huh.
felt to me like a 4-player solo game, and maybe you'd screw me over and take, my penguin that I wanted because I wanted to have both of them to get a conservation token. But at the end of the day, okay, fine, I'll get another animal. It's fine. Um, but it's good and it's super smooth. It's super quick, 4 actions, and you can definitely see the DNA of Arc Nova in it. But it is a little bit less complex and a little bit more multiplayer solitaire. So,
So you mentioned a couple times that BGG Con, for our listeners, this is Board Game Geek. They run a convention in Dallas, and I played 2 that surprised me. I actually really enjoyed 2 games. They're old games, though. That's the great thing about Board Game Geek Con in Dallas is their library is just ridiculous. It is massive, and so you get to play some old, sometimes games that you can't find anymore to try them out. So I have 2 on my list here that are kind of hard to find, and one of them's Room 25. Have you heard of this one?
Room 25? No, I haven't. I haven't.
Yeah, so Room 25 is very much like Cube. If you ever watched that movie from, I think, the early 2000s. So basically, the premise is you are a prisoner inside this 5x5 grid, and you do not know what room is what. They're all flipped over, they're all flipped face down. And you program a set of movements, or actions, I should say. One of them could be a move to find the exit. And you're working with everybody else at the table who are also prisoners. However, 1 or 2 people at the table will secretly be prison guards. You don't know who this is, and so you have to put some trust into people. What's nice is you can peek at certain rooms. You can just move straight into them. Some rooms are good. Some rooms are okay. Some rooms are good. You can straight up push somebody in. And what you're trying to do is find the 1 exit tile out of the 25 and get it on the edge of the board and get your entire team, all the prisoners, to that square. It's exciting. It's tense. You have a timer, so it ramps up. That just like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And I think the programming element just makes it very cool. And works really well where you program 2. Everybody has 2 actions to program, takes 1 action at a time, but you have the ability to program a 3rd action once per game. So it's got that cool cooperative element, but also, should I trust you? Should I not trust you?
Yeah.
Each person has a small special ability. The layout to the game changes dramatically. The person that we played with, it was actually their copy, it wasn't the BGG library copy, but they had tons of rooms that we didn't even see. And it just created amazing stories, a lot of player interaction between peoples at the table. And so, man, this was cool. I found out later on that they're coming out with a new Kickstarter, I think Q1 for this game. The art's not great in it. You can tell it's an older game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested how they work that out and what it's going to look like. I think this has the potential to be really good. I know Tom Bassel rated it pretty high, falling into one of I think their Dice Tower Essentials. So I'll be interested to see what they do with this. This one, that one was pretty fun.
Yeah, I was looking it up while you were talking about it, and I definitely hadn't seen it. And you're right, you can see the age of it. That makes me think of when we talked about claustrophobia in the Halloween or the Spooky Games episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they did a new Kickstarter, and it kind of still looks just fine, but I think that the game will be good. But here's the thing I noticed. That designer of that game made another game that you and I are both aware of that you never played, Reload. So
Yeah,
since you played Room
I still have
25,
it.
yeah,
I
since you played that,
still
you
have
got to
it.
get your copy of Reload to the table, man.
Yeah, maybe one
Um,
day.
maybe one day,
I,
yeah.
please don't remind me of how many games I don't have played in my game room, if you will, Nick. I'd appreciate that.
All right. Listen, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I am curious if you know the number of unplayed games on your shelf. Games you haven't even
All
played elsewhere.
it is higher than 30% of my total
Oh,
collection.
goodness. That's
Yeah.
actually much higher than I thought it was going to be. I thought you
Yeah.
might be around 30 games.
Look, I said don't bring it up. What are you doing? Now you're making me feel bad. See, I just
Um,
need more friends. If I have more friends come over and help me through these games,
man, I'm
boom, we'll
busy.
knock them
You
out.
know, I don't think I'm going to be free for the next forever. Sorry.
Okay, let
Actually,
me
I'll be
talk
free
about your
next
next
Saturday
one.
night. Yeah.
Uh, Before I start feeling really bad about how many games I have upstairs that aren't played. Let me talk about Quantum. Man, I played this once and I played it three more times after that, teaching new people. Quantum, I don't remember who makes it. I think it's Funforge.
I can tell you.
Made this one. I don't think Funforge is around anymore. So somebody pick it up. Somebody remake this because it is amazing. So it kind of blends an interesting Euro style strategy with a tactical combat. It offers a lot of deep gameplay without overwhelming complexity, which is really cool. So each dice is a one of your ships. You roll those ships, and so a high, if you roll a 6, so that may be something that has high movement. It's a strong ship, but not strong in terms of battle. If you're fighting other ships, you want a lower die value. So that's really interesting in terms of how you utilize your ships about the board. And what you're trying to do is surround planets that have various numbers, a 7, an 8, 9, maybe 10, and you're
See that?
trying to take over these planets. This game was so much fun. It gave way to make you feel very clever during the game, comboing things. What each ship that has a special ability, so you can do that, and you had 3 actions to spend, so you can combine those. Man, this was so much fun, and you just roll dice. So yeah, there is luck involved, but there are also powers that you can get. Like the luck just feels very slight when you think about the totality of the game. If I could find a copy that is under $100, I would probably buy it. This is very simple but very fun.
That's another game that I haven't heard of. This one looks, I
Oh, it
don't
looks
know,
like
like,
cheeks, man. It looks like cheeks. It
yeah,
looks
it doesn't
bad.
look great, but I am curious what else. I mean, the dice are so functionally appropriate here. Like, I don't know what you would do. I feel like now they'd make some big ship with some kind of dial on it. You know, it's like a big miniature ship with a dial. It would take up the whole table, and
The
it'd be
simplicity,
$150.
the simplicity of the game, though, um, kind of makes it what it is. I couldn't imagine playing any other way than with those big chunky dice that they provide.
Yeah.
And the goal of the game is just to put out you have these cubes that your acrylic cubes that you're putting out on the planets to take it over. So once those are gone, the game ends immediately.
Okay. And you get a cube whenever you have strength around or
Mm-hmm.
strength on the tile that adds the number or matches the number.
It has to match the number perfectly. So if there's a 7 around the planet, your dice have to equal 7.
Can you mitigate your dice up and down?
There are cards that allow you to do that, but you can also deploy. Deploy just means re-roll one of your dice. As one of
Oh,
your
okay.
3 actions, it's called deploy.
So a little bit of luck, but then a little bit of strategy and like how you're moving and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah.
Right. And
I'm
different
interested.
board configurations makes it a little different every single time based on player count. Yeah,
It sounds
this
quick
was
too.
super fun.
What's a game length, do you think? Like 45
About an
minutes?
hour.
Yeah,
About an
okay. Yeah.
hour. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a good
probably
one.
with a teach too, quite honestly.
Yeah, not bad at all. If you get a copy, let me know.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping somebody will you know how it is. If a game's good enough, somebody will eventually pick it up.
Yeah,
One game that you and I really like was on Kickstarter not too long ago that we talked about.
I got it.
Yeah.
I,
Oh,
I,
you
I
backed it?
caved. I did back it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Dogs of
didn't want.
War.
Yep, I didn't want
Yeah.
to, but
Such
I
a good
backed
game.
it. I miss like how yours looks, but this is gonna have, more variability to it, a much lower price point. So I went ahead and went
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move into our excited to play, Nick, because I know there's going to be one that's on both of our list, and do you want to go ahead and get it out of the way?
Are we thinking of the same game? What do you
Well,
have
I
in
hope
mind?
so because it's happening next weekend.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, absolutely. Top of both of our lists, the new Twilight Imperium 4th edition expansion. You have to tell me what it's called because I can't ever remember these expansion names.
Thunder's Edge.
Thunder's Edge, yes. I wanted
Yeah,
to say
yeah.
Thunder's Road. I knew that that was a different game. So, yeah, really excited for that play, man.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I like I like in concept what they've done with a lot of the changes to Twilight Imperium. Um, so yeah, I spent about over 2 hours sleeving and organizing based on some of the codexes I already had versus what came in the box that contained the
I just
one
like
through codexes 1 through 4. So that was quite the adventure. But
that's made me
hey,
shudder.
we'll
I
have a
just
good time next weekend.
thinking about 2 hours of digging through that thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. That's a game that I jokingly told you I think last year. Oh, you're putting that on your 10 by 10? You know, like play it 10 times in the
Oh
year. Like I
gosh.
would so be in for that if I was open one weekend a month. But man, yeah, I love it. Excited to get it to the table one more time this year, and hopefully we can play it, 2 or 3 more times again next year, like we have been. Keep the habit up, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's a good one, and that's a game that, like you mentioned, you played Quantum, and then you played it 2 or 3 more times, wanting to teach new people. I just want to show everybody TI4, and it's just not that game. You can't take that to a party like this Christmas party this Friday night. Like you can't take it there and be like, all right, let's play TI4. Like it's just not going to happen. You can't get it done in a reasonable amount of time.
Nick, we should have a you're not a gamer unless you've played these games list in the future. I feel like Twilight Imperium is should be on that list. Like you're
It
not a
should
real
be
gamer
on the list.
unless you've
Yeah,
played this at least once. Um, but yeah, we always
you
have
know,
fun with it. We have tons of food. We make a day of it. We
yeah.
spend probably half that day just putting it back in the box to reorganize it because of my dumb insert. Um,
It's
but
it's
yeah,
the best game of the game. Is how
it's
do we
the
put
game of the
it back in
game.
the box?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm printing a new one, so we don't have to worry about that dumb insert anymore.
yeah. But no, it's a good time. So all the listeners here, if somebody's asking you about TI4, take them up on the opportunity. Yes, it is an all-day event, but I promise you, you're going to enjoy it. I mean, whether you enjoy the gameplay, like that's one side of it, or just the over-the-board gameplay, like the negotiations, hey Jared, let's go talk in the kitchen for a second, and you just get up and go to the other room and talk. Like all this stuff it's just what makes it brilliant to me.
Yeah.
So we do want to talk about some of our TI4 experiences, maybe some like epic game experiences in a future podcast episode, so y'all can hear more about our times played there. But yeah, that's a good one. Another one on my list, Jared, that we had planned to play and couldn't make happen is Feudum. I got that Kickstarter in, and we had it scheduled. It just didn't work out for us to play that night, so I'm hoping to get that back on the books sometime soon. Other than that, man, I mean, all my stuff that has come in, I have played. I managed to play Inish with the new expansion. I didn't want to bore you with those details, but quite good. I think I've changed my mind on expansion content for Inish. Before I thought it's base game where I don't want to play it, but now I may want to just play it all in every time.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Juicetown.
it's
I
definitely
speaking of
more gamery now.
I'm going to keep rolling with the expansions, and I got the new Clank Catacombs expansion,
Yep.
Underworld. I'm going to bring this to the Christmas party, so I'm looking forward to playing it. I love Clank, but I've always liked Clank. Don't think it would be normally a game that I would like, but man, it tickles something. It just tickles something just right, and I love it.
Yeah, and see, I bought Clank base game a decade ago, and I played it 2 or 3 times, and I thought, okay, this I don't get the hype. This game is not it. It's not fun. It's not for me. I don't understand what the big deal is. And I played Catacombs this year, actually. Changed my mind totally about Clank.
Yeah,
Catacombs is the way to play it for me. Of course, I've only ever
yeah.
played Catacombs in base game. Just the random map setup, the running around the map thing. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. This one hits right. It's got me bugging for sure. Another one is Elder Scrolls. Um, Elder Scrolls is like Too Many Bones. It's very similar. It's got that backbone that Too Many
Okay.
Bones has, um, where you're adventuring, you're kind of building up through days to build enough experience so you can take the big bad. Plays over 3 chapters, which each chapter usually takes about 3 hours. I have a couple of friends coming over, and we're going to play through a whole entire thing, spend all day and work through a whole entire campaign, I guess you would call it,
Yep.
campaign arc. So I'm looking for that one too. I've played it multiple times, so this isn't something that, I mean, this is something I've played multiple times. I'm just excited specifically this weekend to get that back to the table and play it. It's actually one got my wife to sit down and play back-to-back nights.
Mm,
So that should say something on the wife scale if
yeah.
she's willing to play it on back-to-back nights. So
Yeah.
yeah, this one's good.
That's been like on my radar. I'm not sure it's my genre of game, but played every Elder Scrolls game, so may as well play the board game. Yeah, sounds fun.
Yeah, I don't think the theme. I mean, I can't say that I'm familiar too much with the video game. I think this is any fantasy generic Middle Ages theme would work with
Sure.
this.
Yeah,
Um,
but they're
uh,
selling more copies because it has the IP
oh,
on
IP attached. Yeah.
it.
So
Exactly.
those are my excited to plays for the coming month.
Yeah, I'm going to add one more in real quick because this is a little bit different than anything we've talked about. I backed a Kickstarter. It's a solo. Here's what it says. It's a solo sci-fi RPG of space exploration and faction conflict set in
Hmm.
a retro-futuristic universe. It's called Astro Prisma. Um, and I'm just excited to get it in, really. I'm trying to check the updates here. I think it's fulfilling really soon. Yes, shipping is in progress. That's the last update that we got. And I can't wait to get it and check it out. This is a game I'm afraid will sit on my shelf for a while until I find some time. But like with it being cold, I'm not going outside on the weekends, not doing as much, so I've got a little bit more free time. I'm hoping to just get through it. But yeah, I have no idea how it plays. I've kind of kept myself away from all the updates just to kind of be surprised by it. But it captured me just from the Kickstarter page, and it was a unique experience. I'm looking forward to playing. So that should be coming in soon, hopefully by the end of the year.
Nice.
All right, so let's get into the main topic of today then, Jared. We have I'm gonna say like games, accessories, stocking stuffers, Christmas gift ideas for the gamer.
Yeah. What do you get the gamer that has everything?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's exactly right because people ask me I've had people ask me like, "Hey, I want to get a board game for my spouse or my friend or my whoever. What should I get them? I have no idea. Like, what games do they have? What do they want? I don't know. So I know that you and I talked a little bit beforehand. I didn't actually go the games route. I went, what can you get a gamer that they're going to enjoy having without possibly getting a game they already have? So I'm going to start off this list, and I know that you have more maybe games on your list. But I'm going to start off this list with one that I stand by as being super important for a lot of games is a good insert. Um, you mentioned your TI4 insert. Is it a folded spaces insert?
No, I'm 3D printing mine.
Yeah, but the one that you have currently.
Oh yeah, the one now is folded spaces. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that folded spaces does a good job, but I think it's just game dependent on if it's going to work for you or not. But I just recently, our friend Drake 3D printed me an Arc Nova insert, and I'm so thankful for it. It's easy to set up, just bust it out. The hardest part shuffling that the big deck of cards, and then I got some Kickstarters in. Like I mentioned on the last episode, I think Old King's Crown. That insert's spectacular. It's a nice wooden insert, bit more pricey, but fantastic insert. So I think that like just the ease of setup alone, if I can get into the game in under 10 minutes or maybe even 5 minutes, it's way better than sometimes you have a 15, 20-minute setup. TI4, for example, is a good 45-minute setup. And if you didn't have the insert, I don't want to set it up. Like, it's so ridiculous, that whole game. So,
I
inserts
love.
is top of my list.
Yeah, I love when an insert can be engineered in a smart way, so it does help you set the game up quicker. I don't feel like my Twilight Imperial one does that.
Maybe
It's
not.
better than just plastic baggies.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping the 3D insert will. It was created with that in mind. Whoever whoever created it did it with setup in mind. So hopefully that equates to something. But I love a good insert. Love them.
Yeah.
One of
So
the
a
reasons why
couple
I
of
got a 3D printer in the first place.
Exactly. So if you're listening and you're wanting to know where can I get these, whatever, pretty much any gaming retailer will have them. You could probably find them on Amazon. Folded Spaces is a more budget-friendly one. It's like foam inserts that you assemble. I think LaserOx is another brand that makes good ones. They're wooden. They're typically more expensive, but they look fancy. They have like stuff etched into them that match the game, things like that. Or like Jared mentioned, a 3D printer. There's tons and tons of people who make like 3D inserts for whatever game you want. You're going to probably have a dozen choices or more for the insert, depending on the game. So look around if you have the printer, find the file that you want, get it going. But I think that can be a budget friendly Christmas gift, but you could spend as much as you want to on a fancy one, right?
Yeah, man.
What do you
3D
have?
printers have gotten way cheaper than they used to be. So and a lot more user friendly. So
Yeah,
it's always an option. Instead of buying a
exactly.
bunch of inserts, just go buy a 3D printer. A little more work, but cheaper in the long run, I assume.
Yeah. I mean, you would hope. That's the idea.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Nick, all this talk about Christmas. I love Christmas. Um, big bulbs or small bulbs on the Christmas tree? What kind of dude are you when it comes to bulbs?
Okay, so I we use small bulbs on our Christmas tree, and we have like a the lights and stuff, like the tree garland, all that stuff is like really put together and like looks classy. But we have tons of ornaments that just are like mismatched. And honestly, I feel like the older I get, I just love tacky Christmas. I want to have like big bulbs, all the colors. I'm calling it tacky Christmas. If this is your tree, don't be offended, okay? I love it. Like I want to just have big giant bulbs on everything that I have if I'm going to do Christmas. But currently, no, there are small bulbs on the Christmas tree. What about you,
Oh,
Jared?
so you have small bulbs, but you're a big bulb guy.
Big bulb guy. Yep. Yep.
Do you wrap when you put your lights on your Christmas tree? Do you wrap from the bottom or the top?
Um, why don't I know this answer? My
To
wife's
make
going to
me
listen to this and she's going to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to say we wrap from the bottom up
bottom up, of
because
course.
the plug's
You're a
at the bottom.
reasonable individual.
Yeah. The plug's at the
Yeah,
bottom, so then you plug in, you wrap them around, you hide your second plug because you need two strands probably. And then yeah, that's my answer. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know, but I think we're a bottom up family.
nice,
What are your
nice.
answers here, Jared? Big
Yeah,
bulb, small
well, I'm a
bulb?
small bulb guy.
Okay.
I love the small bulbs. Not too small. I don't like the tiny LED light. I just like
Sure.
the standard traditional bulb. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to Christmas. I want the same thing every year. Um, but Christmas is built around a lot of tradition, and my wife and I fight every single year if we wrap from the top or the bottom. You're a bottom person. I am also wrap from the bottom person. My wife always tries to wrap from the top, and she's wrong. So I'm
While we're
glad
in
to
this
hear
episode,
that you're very sensible.
I'm gonna text Haley right now this question and see if I was right or not. But fun questions. I do like it.
Okay, so let me get to my list.
Okay.
So I went. You said I mentioned games. I kind of went with stocking stuffers for the most part.
Sure.
So every Christmas Eve, my family gets together. We usually play games. Usually they're fun and more party games that we typically play. So that's kind of what I catered my list to, um, thinking about what we usually play from year to year. One that I would like to play, I don't own this game, but I think it would make a great gift and fits my family dynamic quite perfectly. That's Hot Streak. Have you played this, Nick?
Is that the mascots game?
The mascots racing,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just played it once, maybe 2 months ago. Yeah, that's a fun little game.
Yeah,
I
this
lost
is
horribly.
yeah. There's a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill and strategy, like they're tangoing together. like two people who definitely didn't practice before a wedding, right? Like
Yeah.
it's very chaos, which makes it fun. But what I like about it is everybody's rooting for a certain mascot. So it kind of gives that weird cooperative, but I'm not cooperating with you dynamic, which I love. I love that that happens.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're bidding. You're guessing who's going to win with limited information. You have a small hand of cards, and you're going to entwine the cards that you have in with a deck of known knowledge. So all the cards that will be in this deck will be in the middle of the table. You'll see who will move a certain distance, but you're not going to know who falls down, who runs off the board. So it's silly, it's fun. The mascots are cute. They all have a backstory. And once the game is over, based on how much money you've won, there's a little backstory for you as well. And what happens to your days as a gambler. It's so cute.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Yeah. I do love the guy that's definitely not a hot dog. Hearing his story, did you read all the different mascots like
Yeah.
bios or whatever? I love that. I forget what they called him, and he's like, "You may think he's a hot dog, but he's not a hot dog," or whatever they were going off about. It was, yeah, that's a funny game, a fun game, and it's just like knocking people over. Oh no, I'm going backwards now. Why did I bet on this guy? It's a good time. You can't take it too seriously. If you're hyper competitive, not sure it's gonna be for you, but it's super fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a good one. So I got that one on my list. Probably the board actually is wound up
Oh yeah.
in the box, which is kind of weird. It works. So I don't know if you're going to fit this in a stocking, but it's one of my exceptions. But it's too good not to mention.
Yeah, that was a cool gimmick, I thought. Like that the board kind of rolls out of it and then you can like wind it back up into it. It's all self-contained, which is neat. I like
Yeah.
it. Next one on my list, I am going to put two things together and you'll see why. It's a board game arena subscription and or tabletop
Oh,
simulator on Steam.
that's a good idea.
I've played both ways. I ran through an entire Sleeping Gods campaign with my friend who lives in Missouri through Tabletop Simulator, and I've played countless hours, 100+ times of Ark Nova on Board Game Arena. And I just can't talk about how good BGA is. Um, I love it. I didn't play it at all during COVID. I was like, online board games are not the way to go. I don't understand why people like this. I'm kind of in now. Like it's quick. I played a couple games with Tickets to Ride on there now, and I swear, two-player Tickets to Ride, you can be done in 15 minutes. Like it's so fast, and they're always coming out with new stuff. The scripting is usually really good in the game, and they continue to expand games that have already been released. If there's an expansion, it's probably going to come to BGA at some point. I like it a lot.
It's amazing how many games they have on Board Game Arena that you
It
can just
really
play.
is. It actually has caused me problems where I'm like, okay, what do I want to play? And I'll click games and I'll click view all, and I'm like, oh gosh, the analysis paralysis sets in. Like, I guess I'll just play
Yeah,
Ark Nova. I don't know. So
it's
I
the
just go
equivalent
Ark
of
Nova.
yeah, the equivalent of trying to find a movie to watch and you just have too many streaming services to pick one, so you just
Oh
give
yeah,
up after
yeah.
20 minutes. That's a good
But
problem to have, I suppose.
I don't remember the pricing of BGA. It's very affordable. I mean, it's way cheaper than something like Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus, things like that. I mean, it's even less than a Netflix subscription. I want to say it's $30 a year, something like that. Like it's not too bad. So a good pickup for sure.
Nice. Let me bring up a game that impresses me. And I've mentioned, I mentioned earlier about tile adjacency games. I'm not a big fan of these types of games, but man, Captain Flip, this is fun. Do you know anything about this game?
All right, so another BGA plug. First time I played Captain Flip was on BGA, and I played it
Nice.
probably 10 more times on there. That game is fantastic.
It's
I
so
ended up
much
getting it
fun.
last Christmas physically, and yeah, it's a super fun game. And I guess it's also tile adjacency, like you're saying, but it's so quick. Just draw a tile out of a bag, ooh, this is a good ability. Or I could flip it over and see what's on the backside, but it's random, and if you flip it, you're stuck with it. Super enjoyable game, and also quick.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so easy to teach, right? Like,
Yeah,
here's the what, like 8 different tiles that you may come
something like
across.
that.
They get you gold. All you have to do is pick this side or flip it and take that side and hope the sea gods are in a good mood. You
Yeah.
know, um, this is. I was so impressed with this game when I played it. When someone just, I was like, I don't want to play it, and they said, "Oh, it's only 20 minutes." I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try." Um, it's great. I don't know what
Um,
else to say about it. It's just light and fun, and the art's incredible.
y-
Um,
One thing I think really makes it work, right, is because it's not like, okay, I'm gonna take this tile. All right, if I put it here, I get a coin for everybody in that row, or I can flip it over and see what that is. There's also an instant lose condition. Like if you get three of the cannon people, like the cannoneers, whatever they're called, I forget what the
yeah, I think
actual
that's
name
who
is.
they are. Yeah,
If you get three of them, you instantly lose. So then there's that tension of if you put two of them down, because like they're worth a lot of points. So I maybe want one. I maybe even want two. But then if I get two, I don't ever want to flip a tile over. But sometimes, like late game, I draw Swabby, and I don't have any more Swabbies, so I don't want to keep that. I'm going to flip it over. Hopefully, it's not the third cannon person that I have, and I'm going to lose the game. So I like that tension. It's not much, right? And the game's quick, so if you're instantly out, it's really whatever. But um,
I
yeah,
imagine on
I think
BGA.
that
I
what's
imagine
that?
on BGA it plays in what, 10 minutes?
If
It's-
even, man, like if you've played before, you're just like take, flip, take, take, flip, take, flip. Oh, the game's over. Okay, like it's super quick.
yeah, yeah. It's a cute game. I'd love to try to snag it from somewhere. I think it's kind of hard to find, so it's kind of nice that it's on BGA.
Yeah, yeah. For me now, I've got another thing that I think I'm gonna. It's one thing, a couple different categories. I went with playmats. Okay, I am personally not a fan of game specific mats, and I am a huge fan of a big game mat for your tabletop. So if your tabletop is, X feet by X feet, you can find a playmat for that size, almost guaranteed. And then I just run the game on that. I don't like um, game specific mats because they don't fit in the box. That's my only complaint. What a first world problem. I understand, and I think, in the minority here. Most people enjoy game specific mats, but I think if you bought me playmats for a game that I own, I would use them every single time, if that makes sense. So presents for a gamer that has everything, get them a playmat for their table. And if I already have a playmat and you give me a second one, that's fine. I go places and I roll up my playmat and take that playmat places. So if I had another one, I could just take that one and leave mine at home. Like you're fine having two there. Game specific mats. I mean, there's mats for every game. I swear. Like any big game, for sure, there's mats for it. Whether it's player boards or the actual shared board as a mat, or both. So plenty of options there in the playmat category. What are your thoughts on game specific playmats?
I I used to love them, and there's some games that I want them for. I tend to like game specific playmats when they organize the board a little bit better, um, and they
Like
have
there's a
it.
slot for the
So I'll give you,
cards, so like the card river, stuff like that.
yeah, I'll give you a good example. Champions of Midgard has a great playmat because it has all the expansion stuff on it.
Okay.
If you're
Yep.
not using that, you'd have just like random boards laying all over the place, and it's not well organized. I feel
Sure.
like the playmat is necessary for that game if you have the expansions. Um, so that would be a good example of when a game specific mat comes in handy.
Yeah.
But
Um,
you're right on the experience of, okay, I have all these game mats. What do I do with them? Do
yeah.
I roll them up so whenever I unroll it, it curls up? Do I hang them up somewhere like it's a quilt? What do you do with them? They take up a
Yeah.
lot of space in your game room, where sometimes real estate is very important.
Yeah. Now I will say the exception to game specific mats is Magic the Gathering, which is a game I don't play anymore. I got clean of that addiction almost a decade ago. But I love a good Magic mat. So there's tons of fun ones. You can get anything you want to printed on one. So if you know anybody who's a Magic player, have some fun with it. You can find a lot of silly mats, a lot of really cool mats. Their favorite card art's probably on a mat too. So another good idea there for a game specific one.
I like thematic mats too. I mean, I think having a game mat and being able to take one with you is phenomenal because then you turn any table into a gaming table, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, some of those game mats are pretty expensive the bigger they get, but it's kind
Very
of nice
true.
to have a theme that matches the game that you're playing. I know that's probably more of a wish than something that's practical, but I
Sure.
don't know, just kind of ties the theme in sometimes rather nicely.
Yep. What else you got for us, Jared? Stocking
All
stuffer
right,
game?
so I got through. I'm going to go for smaller games, and
So these are the real
hopefully
stocking stuffer games. Got it.
these are
Got
the
it.
real ones that you can shove down in a stocking. So, have you ever heard of a trivia game called CDSK?
I have not. Hang on.
Okay,
Wait, let me consult the almighty Google here. This sounds familiar, but maybe it's just from you that I've heard this. But no, I have not
yeah.
heard of this game. I'm looking at it now.
What's
Never
great
seen it.
about this? It's not a Trivial Pursuit. It's more of a party game, but you don't have to be a trivia buff. Just willing to guess boldly and laugh loudly, essentially, because what you're doing is you use pieces. You have your team's player piece, and you're on a certain color. I know this sounds like Trivial Pursuit, but stay with me. And there's going to be a category. And so you have to decide, you are told what the category is, and then you decide how much do you know about that subject from 1 to 10. All right?
Okay.
So if it says apples, how much do you know about apples? If I say 4, the question isn't as hard as if I would have said 7. But those are also, depending on how high I go, are the number of spaces that I get to move for my next turn until I
Gotcha.
reach the end of this track, right?
Okay.
And sometimes it's silly. A 1 could be, do you like apple pie? That's your question. You say
Okay.
yes, you move a spot. But then 10 is going to be something absolutely ridiculous, right? And
Yeah.
so that kind of makes a trivia game where everyone can play and everybody can buy in without someone just kind of taking over or um, being, there's always that trivia buff, right? That
Right.
acts like they know every answer. But yeah, this is a very cool idea for a trivia game, which I like trivia. I like silly trivia, and this kind of fits. They just came out with a travel version that would fit perfectly in a stocking.
That sounds really fun, actually. I find myself playing like lighter party games more and more lately with a couple of groups of friends. I might have to pick this one up. That sounds fun. I like a good trivia game, but to your point, it's like I don't want to go there and then you just be this like trivia savant and just know everything. And everybody else is sat there like, should we have just been on one team against you? Because we've had those games before where it should have just been all of us versus the one person. So yeah, this
I
sounds
will
that
say
sounds
that
fun.
uh, you will encounter categories. I mean, there's only so many question cards in the travel version. There's a larger version that has more and different questions that you can engage with, specifically talking about the travel one. I imagine that you will see some duplicates, and anytime that happens, we just say, "Hey, I've already had this one." But the good thing is you're playing with a different group. Maybe their knowledge of apples is different. So maybe last time I tried a 7 and got it right, but um, this time we'll try a 5, and so it'll be completely different. We usually
So
do read the ones though, just because they're silly, makes us laugh.
yeah. So I was looking actually. The base edition comes with 2,500 plus cards, it says, and the travel edition comes with 860 new ones. So if you had both, you would actually have 860 new questions to add to your original edition, it seems like. From the description. I don't know. I haven't played either
I,
copy, but it sounds like they're
I
new
think they're
questions.
different size. I think the question cards may be a different size to accommodate for the
Hmm.
travel box,
That
but I'm
makes
not
that makes
100%
sense.
sure on that.
Yeah.
Regardless, if you had both of them, you'd be smart as a whip.
That's a lot of questions, man. A lot
A
of
lot of
questions.
questions.
Um, so I've got two more things. How many more games do you have to talk about, Jared? We
I
didn't
got a
really do.
couple more stocking stuffers to add.
Okay, so I'll do one at a time then. I've got bit bins or token trays, whatever you want to call them. I use these all the time, and our friend Drake printed me one. I got some at AdventureCon last 2025,
Hmm.
2024. I forget which year. Last year, I think. So I've got quite a few of those, and here's why I'm going to put this on the list. Okay, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. 3D printing them, um, probably my favorite, just because the size they all stack together. They also sell them. A company that comes to mind, if it's still in, I don't know if they still make them or not. Zen bins. They have like a lid, and you can open it up, and then that lid is another tray. You just basically sort the pieces into two. But here's the pro gamer hack right here. Okay, Dollar Tree. Telling you right now, go to the Dollar Tree, go to like the kitchen supply section. It has like the utensils and the like Tupperware type stuff, and you can find a bunch of little bitty boxes for $1.25, like 8 of them for $1.25. I use those not only for bit bins on the table whenever I run out of my printed ones, but also for organizers for board games. So like my copy of Terra Mystica is in a bunch of different bit bins and like tackle box things, basically. So I'm a big fan of bit bins on the table. A lot of games, I feel like they're just taking up more and more space, and to keep your tokens organized in one section, I mean, it's like a 3 inch by 3 inch little container, maybe, is perfect. They don't get scattered across. They don't roll onto the table, nothing like that. I'm a big fan of bit bins. They fit in a stocking. They're really affordable. Tons of different options. Big fan. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah,
Do you always use them when you have the game
I
night?
love. Yeah, no, I know the 3D printed ones you're talking about because I have some as well, and I use them. uh, I use them often.
Yeah.
Um, Another little hack that someone could use are silicone cupcake trays. You can go
Yes.
buy some of those
Good
at
idea too.
Walmart, or I'm sure the dollar store has them, and those work great for bit bins as well.
We used those at
Um,
Jesse's house for years, I think, until he got the ones from AdventureCon.
yeah, they work very very well. They push down flat. Um,
Yep.
they're pretty durable, so they work great when you need them. So I would also say crayon boxes, and I'm not talking about the cardboard
Right.
ones, but a lot of times in back to school they have these plastic ones. A lot of times they snap together, but those work great for cards. They fit a standard American size card perfectly, and can go in your box. Just so convenient. So that's it. Yeah, that's a good one. Um, I will. You and I talked about this one before, and I think you said you had it on your list, or you're going to put it on your list, and that is Flip 7. They just came out with a Christmas version of it. Um, I call this is the type of game I call a one more round kind of game,
Yeah.
or an OMR. Every single time I play it,
OMR.
OMRs. Every single time I teach anybody, let's play one more time. One more time.
Yeah.
Let's just play it again.
Do they
Flip
ever say
7.
no? Because I find that people never say no to that when you ask them. They're like, yes, I definitely want to play another time. For sure. Let's go. Shuffle them up.
Yeah. It's fast, it's clever, it's an interesting number puzzle, where every flip, every single time you say hit me or take another card, it feels like a new gamble. And then whenever you don't bust, it kind of feels like a mini victory, even though you may bust on the next card. For those who don't know what Flip 7 is, it's a number counting game. In a very large deck, you have 12 12s, 11 11s, 10 10s, so on and so forth down the line, and you get flipped a card. And what you don't want to do is have duplicates of a number 1 through 12. There are special cards that allow you to maybe flip 3, and you can give that to someone else and make them bust. You may get a second chance. You may get a freeze and freeze somebody else. It's pleasant. It's in a very small box. The game is like $8. You can find it at Walmart, Target, pretty much anywhere
Yeah.
now. It is everywhere. Um, and I mean, I have not found many people that just don't like it at all.
Same. It's also language. language independent. Is that the word for it?
It is. Yeah.
So, like, you can play that with kids. You can play it with literally anybody. It's super fun, and I don't think I've ever played that game. And I've played it with many groups of people. I don't think I've ever played it where a person's just not liked it at all. I truly think that every time we're like, "Wow, that was fun. Let's play again." And I love the mechanic too, where if you flip 7 unique numbers, like the namesake of the game, you get an extra 15 points, and the round's over immediately. So you were talking about a game before. What was the first game you mentioned where you're trying to escape? What's that one called? Room 25?
Room 25? Yeah, Room
Yeah, where
25.
you're like, that's one you said you were cheering for everybody else, right?
Yeah,
This is the same way. Like, Jared, if you've got 6 cards out there, but you have like
you got to
12,
go.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, like you have 6 of them down the line, right? I'm like, Jared, come on, dude. You can flip 7. Just do it. Just flip one. And it's super risky because you have all the high numbers and a duplicate is a high chance. But it's so awesome when you flip that 7th one. Everybody at the table's cheering for you. Even if I lose the game from that, I don't care. Because holy cow, you just flipped 7 and scored 112 points. Like, that's insane. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
it's
really
a
fun
lot
game.
of fun, and it's fun to think, oh, there's no more 11s. There's no more 11s. I can't possibly get one, and then oh gosh, there
Yeah.
it goes, and you just see everybody slowly transforming into a group of people that are just muttering numbers under their breath like they're casting spells. Like
Yeah.
it's so much fun to watch other people involved and engaged with the game.
Yeah, as much as I feel like I'm counting the cards, when it comes to like the 9, 10, 11, 12, I just can't keep track of how many of those have been played and everything else. And so I'm with you. I'm like, oh, we just saw like 6 11s in a row, and we're mostly through the deck. There's no more left. I'm
No
safe
way
to
it's
hit
coming.
here. And I hit, and my second card of the whole round is another 11. I'm like, wow, okay, of course, 2 11s in a row
This is
this
the
late in the
game that made
round.
me realize that 9 is my nemesis. Anytime I get a 9, I stop.
Yeah, 9 or
Don't
8.
go any
Like, they're
further.
sneaky, man, because you're thinking, well, it's not a 10, it's not a 12. I can go another one. It's fine.
Nope, 9s hate
Yeah,
me. It's just a fact. 9s hate me.
super fun game. Another BGA plug. Not sponsored, by the way. Just another BGA plug. Um, it's on BGA, and it plays in 5 minutes. I swear, it's so fast. Love it. Love that game. I'll play it whenever. All right, I only have one thing left on my list. It's kind of like a 2-for-1 special again because they go together, and that is for the tabletop role playing gamers, and that is dice, and then for everybody, dice trays. Okay, big fan of dice trays for board gaming because I don't like to roll on the game board. If there's pieces on there, you don't want to hit the pieces, knock them over, scatter them around, or like knock something over by the just dice dropping on it. So we use dice trays if it's a really crowded game. And then custom dice. I was just at a Dirty Santa party last weekend. I know it's super early, but again, holiday scheduling is insane. So this is the only time that this group of friends could get together. And they have an ongoing D&D campaign, and 2 people brought custom dice. I actually won the custom dice in the gift exchange. Actually, my wife did, but I still like them. Like, it's fun to have them. It's a full set of like all the different polyhedral dice, and they have like little black cats in them, and it's got like little purple stuff that will like swirl around as you roll them. They're really pretty. You can spend as much money as you want to on dice, or as little money as you need to. It's a good stocking stuff gift. And then dice trays to roll them in. Always good to have for both role playing games and board gaming. So you can get dice trays, again, 3D printed. You can get some dice trays with dice towers attached to them. But what I'm a big fan of are these that like button on the corners. So they're like hexagonal trays, but
Oh
they
yeah.
have like little snap buttons on the corners because they lay flat. You can even put them in some game boxes too. Just keep it in there if you have multiples. You can buy a full set on Amazon, maybe like 4 or 5 of them for $10, $12.
They're not very expensive.
Give them away to a bunch of people, or multiple to one person if they can fit them in game boxes. So that's my last one. But I think that I had to get the RPG plug in because one, I'm going to be playing this solo RPG, and I've always been a fan of D&D. Played a few campaigns, and always a thing I've kind of been adjacent to.
Yeah, I'm a bit superstitious when it comes to rolling dice. If I'm not rolling well, that's when the dice box comes out. That's when the rolling tray comes out. So it'll start rolling better.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, by the way. It's not a pro tip. It's just superstition. My last one is Alibis. This is
Okay.
like all play. Have you played this one?
I haven't played this one. I'm Googling it to see the cover.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it's equal parts wordplay and wait, what? I
okay,
mean, if you like code names and you like That's So Clover, I would encourage
I like both of
anybody
those
that likes
games.
two games to play Alibis. Um, so basically, you get two cards. They are numbered. These two are alibis. These are two words that are on in the middle of the table that did not commit the crime. The words are associated with these cartoonish characters that look like Batman villains, in my opinion. And so you're trying to figure out the one person in the middle of the table attached with a word that did the crime, right? You know, your two people didn't do it. And so you use word association between those two people. So, for example, if you have vampire and scientist, you need to make a word that directly correlates with those two words. And you're working cooperatively with everybody at the table. You're going to secretly write down your word that goes with those two words, and then you flip it over. But you have to be careful because there's other words on the table that may mess you up a little bit. So it's just pleasant. You play for 3 rounds. It's about a 20 to 30 minute game, and you're trying to reduce the amount of heat that are on your two alibis. And that's it's kind of very much like just one, where the game doesn't really matter. Like, who cares, right? How much heat I have on me at the end of the game, which it does say, like, if you have three, then you're a faithful minion, or something cute like
Yeah,
that. But this is fun. I didn't think I would like it the first time I played it when I heard about it, but I keep going back to it more and more.
I really like the art on this. You're right. It looks like Batman villains or something. It's definitely like a comic book style
Yeah.
like villain thing. But yeah, I mean, this seems good. I'm all for these little games. I like both of the games you mentioned. Codenames played so many times of that. So Clover, I think I played at your house for the first time and picked up my own copy after I played it. So yeah, that's what I'm excited to try for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, this was good. I like it.
Well, that's all I had. Jared, do you have any more game plugs you want to put in
No,
here?
I think all our listeners should have full stockings by now, don't you?
Absolutely. All of our listeners and us, right? Perfect.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. We'll see if we've been naughty or nice this year, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, we're hoping to have an episode coming up about Twilight Imperium, our experiences there. So if you're interested in that game, definitely stay tuned for that one. We have some more ideas that are fun in our upcoming episodes as well. So if you have any that you'd like to hear, any specific shout outs or any specific ideas that you guys have that you'd like to hear more about from us, let us know. Happy to do some, viewer advised topics. That'd be fun. But yeah, other than that, everybody have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all of that. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.